course of planning this event. And they are Jessica Korthuis. She's the CEO of Sohuis, which is a female founder organization that helps them with branding and marketing. And she's going to be joining us right now.
Hello.
And to help her in her fireside chat, I'm going to bring to the stage Jane Stoller of Organized Jane and from Canada, even though she's not in Canada right now.
Hi, Jane. You look gorgeous in pink. I was like, I had to stay on for your debut representing another fellow Canadian.
Oh, yes, I love it.
Well, I'm actually quite envious right now. You are so tan.
I know. It's
where you are.
I feel bad for the rest of Canadians, so I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we're going to turn it over to both of you again. This is Jessica Korthuis, CEO, founder of Sohuis, and she's going to be leading this fireside chat with Jane from Organized Jane. So over to both of you, ladies.
Enjoy.
Awesome, ladies. Thanks so much for having us. Jane, I'm super excited to chat with you. I know we have a lot to chat about, and yes, you do look fabulous in pink. But for those of you who I don't know, I will just very quickly introduce myself. So as the lady said, my name is Jessica Korthuis. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been working in branding and marketing for well over a decade. I've worked with big global brands all the way to tiny little startups and single-founded teams. And my company, Sohuis, is a digital membership community and platform that specifically helps early-stage female founders learn the ins and outs of branding and marketing. So 90% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. I think that's a quote that most people know. What they don't know is that the number one reason for that is access to capital. And the number two reason is marketing. And so our whole thing is about really making marketing accessible, understandable, making it an enjoyable, welcoming experience for female founders versus the horrible, terrifying experience that it is now. So I'm really happy to meet all of you and be a part of this event. And Jane, in preparing for our fireside chat, I stalked you like a mother. And so I'm so excited to chat with you. I'd love for you to just tell everyone your story quickly about how you got into this work. Like, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got specifically into organizing and kind of merging this life organization with a business to organization, because it is really so important. You really can't have one without the other. So I just love to hear your backstory.
Yeah, I'll do it really quickly because I want to take time for questions you have too. But I started organizing when I was 6 years old, and they say when you're between 6 and 8, anybody has kids out there, that's when you can kind of see the habits if someone's going to be organized or disorganized, and when you can start kind of adapting those habits. So I also have Swiss roots from Switzerland. It's a very organized country, so it's always been my passion. But growing up in Canada, similar to the U.S., I was very, thought society. I had to go to university, get a corporate job, and that's what I did. So I downplayed organizing for over a decade when I worked in the corporate world and got many degrees in university and a lot of business experience. But people were still asking me to help them organize their lives and also their businesses. So I took the entrepreneurial leap 3 years ago because I was tired of helping kind of shareholders. I wanted to help specifically women entrepreneurs get the back end of their business really organized. And yes, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I still bring in that lifestyle component because I still think time management is one of the most important parts. And in my course, I always teach that.
Oh, amazing. So I know you have a special strategy. It's called your adaptable approaching to organizing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, especially times like pandemics, which we're all living through now, we've had to adapt our entire lives, not just our offices, not like everything has changed, right? So I'm always about adapting your systems and routines to your current lifestyle, not for the future, but right now. And I have a 6-week course, and that's my signature 6 steps, and they're really adaptable. So my clients even have lifetime access to this because I believe that, next year, one of my clients might have, I know her business, and she might come back on and say, you know what, I need to adapt or pivot or whatever. And now we have to update your organizing routine. So it's all about being able, just like, events like this have been able to pivot, you need to do the same with your organizing routines.
Oh, I love this idea of adaptation. So I was an accidental entrepreneur, which is a very long story. I won't get into it. But in any case, I've been an entrepreneur now for almost 10 years. And as I became a mom, had to completely adapt. When I started my first business, I had no idea what we were doing. And then we had to adapt as we learned and as we went along. And that's something that I've learned, throughout the time that I'm sure you've learned as being a business owner as well, is that what works for your business in the early stages and stage, in year 1, year 2, year 3 might not work, year 5, year 6, 7, as you're really looking at scale. And so when you think about back-end systems, that is so important. Can you just dive a little bit into that? Like, I know it's kind of a big question, but, within the first couple of years of a business, like what kind of back-end systems and organizations should you look at versus maybe like years 3 to 5 and so on?
That's a great question. Actually, I say to work with me, it's a champagne problem because you already have a successful product or service. So you're not just starting out because, like you mentioned, you're an accidental entrepreneur like many are. When you're just starting out, you are so focused on getting clients, delivering results. You don't really have time to I hate to say this, but you're just focused on surviving, right? And getting your business up. Then once you realize you have a really successful product or service, then it's time to really say, okay, I need to get it organized. And that's when a professional coach comes in, or myself, or getting a bit more organized on the business side. So it's not really the timeline in your business. I can't say it's going to be 1 to 3 years or 3 to 5 years, but I say when you get to that overwhelmed stage, you say, okay, I have so many clients. I'm overwhelmed. My accounting's a mess. I can't deal with my marketing side. When you're overwhelmed, but know you still want to scale and grow, that's when you can come to myself and get your systems implemented. And again, at 3 to 5 years, there's no timeline. But as you adapt and grow, you might have to actually upgrade those systems as your business changes.
Yeah, amazing. What are some of the common problems that your clients come to you for? Like, what are sort of like the top things that you always see that everyone struggles with?
So there's 2 actually that I get a lot of questions about. The first one is time management, which is a big one for entrepreneurs because we really need to be focused on those revenue generating activities. And that's my biggest exercise with my clients is really that task audit of getting your time organized to focus on that because we have so many things we should be doing, but does it really drive our business? And the second one is really the accounting side, especially right now, tax season. A lot of entrepreneurs come to me, they're like, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know where to start, and can you help me with that? And I believe you have to have your finances organized in your accounting. Even if you're not an accountant or don't even know numbers, you need to know the numbers of your business.
Okay, you're a woman of my own heart right now because the first time I learned, I literally had an outstanding conversation with the IRS for like 7 years because of some stupid thing that wasn't even my fault that my accountant was supposed to be doing. But at the end of the day, right, I was the business owner. I should have known the basics and caught it. And now I know better. But I definitely had to pay for that. Yeah. Literally and figuratively for a few years.
Yeah, and that's a common thing. And we think, oh, somebody else, our accountant can take care of it, our bookkeeper. But it's very difficult to find a good bookkeeper, first of all. When you're in the growth stage of your business, you want to know every single penny coming in and out. And it's very simple once you have a system. And that's week 3 of my course. It's step 6 in my program or step 3, I should say, of my 6 steps. But it is one of the most, I'd say, aha moments where entrepreneurs say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've avoided this for so long. And all it takes is putting a system in place.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned before, we're a branding and marketing focused membership and community. And so, of course, we don't focus on financial systems, but I do hear this a lot in our community of women who are like, I'm just uncomfortable running the numbers. And it's like, look, you got to get comfortable. You got to get real comfortable. It doesn't need to be fancy. You can have it on a spreadsheet. You can have it on a Post-it note if you want to, but you've got to have some type of system together to have an idea of what's happening in the numbers of your business. Yeah, you could not have said it any more truer. Okay, so I know we only have a limited of time for our panel. I know we could talk forever, but I'd love to know what are some must-have organizational tips that you do for your own business and your own life? So what are like non-negotiables for you personally and professionally that you could share with us?
Oh yeah, I have so many, but I'm going to focus on 2 or 3 right now because we're limited here. But, one of them is using a time cube. So I sell these on Organized Jane because they're prettier with the pink, but any timer will work. I don't recommend your phone, but I really get focused on tasks. So when I'm, doing my emails for twice a day, I set the timer to maybe 60 minutes and it'll be sitting there blinking at me, counting down. I won't do anything. I won't check my Instagram. I won't go to the bathroom. I won't do anything. I will just focus on that. And if you're working in a co-working space when we go back, or if you have family around, whatever, visitors, that can be like also a mindset saying, when this is on, I'm really laser focused. Do not interrupt me, because interruptions are really the cause of a lot of stress in your business and wasted time. So that's my number one tip, is getting that focus and using a timer. They really work. My next one is really around, you're going to love this, around marketing and content creation. And I have a photo date with myself every single month, just like I have an accounting date with myself once a week. But as entrepreneurs, and especially marketing side, we need content, we need photos. And a lot of us have that as a disastrous mess. Every single month, I'm actually going through my photos and deleting. I use an app called Gemini, which deletes all duplicates and blurry ones. So when I need content, I can easily pull it up and I can look back to events like this one, for example, and post something about it. So it's really, people think it's a waste of time, but as marketing and as creators, we need to have our photos organized, just like our email systems, just like our accounting systems.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so true. So true. And then my very, very last question, and I know it's a loaded one, is what is your number one piece of advice for business owners, aspiring founders, even more mature founders who are just feeling really overwhelmed? Like, what is just the number one thing they need to be doing that you haven't already shared, that maybe they overlook, or just something that they just forget about because they're too busy working in their business instead of working on their business? So what's like the number one tip you could share?
So I was going to say that we don't spend enough time looking at our business from a bird's eye view. So hiring a coach will really, even within my course, it's an hour a week that you're focusing on organizing your business. You would never do that otherwise. So hire a coach. You should have a coach all stages of your business, from when you're starting to help you get over whatever it may be, your branding side, your marketing side, and then as you move on to get your business organized, and then as you want to scale. And you should always have that accountability. So it takes you away from the day-to-day and helps you look at the kind of the bird's eye view.
Yep. So important, that bird's eye view. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Jane, for sharing. Your wisdom is amazing. I love what you've built. Your course sounds awesome. And yeah, I mean, as I said before, for someone being a mom, a parent, running several companies, it's always just like about tasks and priorities and balancing a zillion plates. So thank you for sharing. And it was awesome being on the panel with you.
Yeah, honestly, that was amazing. And Jessica, you're the best moderator. We're going to have you.
I know. I loved it.
And it's so true. Everything that you said about like not having time to actually step out and look at everything. You're just, like I said to Megan and Chelsea the other day, I was like, I'm just running. I'm running. I can't stop running, but you do have to like, okay, we're going to step back and be executives now, right? So it really is important. But thank you both so much for being here and for kicking off this event with us. Jessica will definitely be working together more for sure. I'm so excited to have this collaboration with Sohuis. And Jane, we have a whole huge event coming up with you in May, which we'll let everyone know about later. Mm-hmm. What's that?
I'm so excited for that. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Okay.